Welcome back, guys. Today is such a beautiful day that I decided to film outside. So you'll probably be hearing the sounds of my surroundings. Right now, I can hear the birds and the AC units. But hopefully what comes through the loudest is the lesson in today's story. Now, you probably can't see what I'm holding in my hands, but it is a bowl of, I believe, mandarins or tangerines. Now, the reason I'm holding this bowl is because there's something that I discovered within our fruits this week that I thought would make for a great illustration. Recently, we threw out our fruit basket, the basket that we would display our fruits in the kitchen. So we were left with just putting the fruits away in the fridge or leaving them in the package that they come in. Now, the last shopping trip that I took, I purchased a large bag of mandarin oranges and I put them directly on the counter. So anytime we wanted to eat an orange, we would just reach into the bag and grab one. Now this week, as I was cooking and then cleaning out the kitchen, I decided to clean around the bag of oranges. And that's when something prompted me to look in the bag. Now, nestled in the very middle of all the oranges was one very rotten orange. Now you can imagine this really took me by surprise because, as you could see, all the other oranges are just fine. It was that one orange that was just rotten to the core. So the thought that immediately came to mind was, how healthy is my heart? Now I'll explain why I thought this. Many times we look and we might even feel healthy. We believe that we're doing well, not realizing that deep down inside of us, something is rotting. We may not know for how long it's been going on, or we may not know just how bad it is, but if it weren't for an outside force, sometimes we would not discover just how bad it is. And to be honest, because all the other oranges around it were looking so good, I never bothered to check the middle of the bag. So when was the last time you reached in to do an evaluation of what was going on within yourself, within your family, within your relationships or your friendships? I can honestly say that for me, I am someone who absorbs a lot. I take in a lot. I meditate on the things that were said to me that I've said. I run them through my mind a lot, and I might not really take the time to work through them. I'm also someone who sometimes avoids conflicts. I'd rather not be in a conflict or a conflictual situation. So what that leaves me doing oftentimes is smiling, pretending everything is okay, telling myself that we ought to only look on the bright side because all is going to be well. So what that may leave you with is, honestly, a bowl of fruits where they all appear to be good, but deep down inside, there's one that is very rotten. So this is where I had to take the time to do some self-introspection and ask myself, what was really going on within my heart? Were there things that I was shying away from or hiding away from? Were there things that I had brushed under the rug and pretended all was well when in fact it wasn't? Did I need to do some digging in and perhaps pulling out some things and throwing them out? And I have to say that there were things that I discovered that weren't easy to deal with. They're not easily solved, but now that I recognize what is going on, I can start to work on it. And so this is where I'm inviting you to do the same. Look within yourself. Is there a rotten fruit there? Now, this illustration could be taken in so many different ways. It could be, and I thought about it, it could be that you might have that one person in your group of friends that is a bit rotten that you might need to get rid of, but that's not what we're focusing on today. Today, I want you to focus on yourself, within yourself. What is there that needs to change? What is there that needs to be plucked out and discarded? If you're anything like me, it is so much easier to just go on and pretend that all is well in life. My brother calls me a flower child, and as you can imagine, he does so because he believes that if I could run through a field of roses, hug a couple trees, all would be well with the world. But we know that life requires so much more effort. Life requires so much more work. We can't put our heads in the sand and pretend that things will go away. I could not allow for one rotten orange to stay with all the other oranges, because we all know what could happen. And in the same token, you should not allow for this one rotten thing to remain in your life, lest it corrupts everything else. But hear me out, all hope is not lost. I was able to remove the one bad orange, wash the remaining ones, and we've been able to enjoy them ever since without much concern. And I have to say, they are pretty tasty. As always, I want to thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe and share this video if you found it encouraging.